Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back. Happy Thursday. Today's lesson is going to be a review on Module 14, followed by a Nearpod activity. And you can find today's lesson review on pages 397 and 398 in your book. But before we get to the lesson, boys and girls, I want to check in on you. I picked today's theme, the characters from Inside Out, for a really good reason. We're going through something that is very different, and that may evoke different feelings. Some of you may be feeling sadness or happiness. Some of you may be confused, and others may be scared. And I want to check in on you because while I have spoken to some of you and even emailed others, I haven't had any face-to-face interaction with you. I really miss being in front of the classroom with you, teaching you and learning from you. Okay, so during the Nearpod activity, boys and girls, you're going to notice that there's a collaborative board that asks you what's one activity that you've been able to do this week that has brought a smile to your face. I'm also going to ask you how you've been feeling, and those responses will be private. But boys and girls, I want you to know that I am here. You can reach out to me, you can call me, you can text message me, or you can email me. So boys and girls, are you ready to get started with our review? In a minute, you're going to pause the video and you're going to complete pages 397 and 398. Once you complete them, please come back to the video so that we can review them together. Okay, welcome back. Let's see how we did. Let's begin with the vocabulary section. Choose the correct term from the vocabulary box. That's over on the right. Number 1, each equal part that a whole is divided into is a blank. Well, when I have equal parts, and I'm talking about each one of those equal parts that a whole is divided into, that's a unit fraction. And a unit fraction is one part out of the total number of parts that it takes to make a whole. And I like to just cross off my word when I use it, and that way I can focus on the words that are left over. Number 2, the number of unit squares needed to cover a surface area is the blank. That's the area, boys and girls. The area is the number of unit squares that you need to cover a surface. Number 3, a square with a side length of 1 unit is called a, so it's a square and it measures 1 unit on each side. Oh, we definitely know that one. That's a unit square, boys and girls, and those are the kind of squares that we use when we're finding the area of a shape. How did you do so far? Let's look at number 4. Divide the shape into 2 equal areas. Well, if I'm dividing the shape into 2 equal areas, I want 2 parts that have the same amount of space on the inside, right? 2 equal parts. I would just divide my triangle with a vertical line right down the middle. Okay, and if I think about that as a line of symmetry or as my fold line, I know that if I folded that paper where the purple line is, my 2 parts would show me that they're the same. And then it says, what unit fraction names each equal part of the shape? So I want a unit fraction that names each part. Well, my denominator would be a 2 because there's 2 total parts to make that shape. And if I'm talking about a unit fraction, I just want one of those parts. So my numerator would be a 1. Therefore, my fraction is 1/2. Each equal part is 1/2 of the shape. Number 5, Martha colored 1 of 8 parts of the shape. She says she colored 1/8 of the shape. Is Martha correct? Explain. Tell what strategy or tool you would use to solve the problem. Explain your choice and then find the answer. So she colored 1 of 8 parts, and she's saying that she colored 1/8 of the shape. Well, let me see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, she did color 1 part out of 8, but she did not color 1/8 of the shape. And the reason she didn't color 1/8 of the shape is because those parts are different sizes. When we're talking about fractions, boys and girls, we want our parts to be equal. I see that this part and this part and this one are a lot smaller than the other 4 parts. Number 6, divide the shape into 4 parts that each have an equal area. Now, boys and girls, there are a lot of different ways that you can divide this square to show equal areas. I may make a vertical line down the middle and a horizontal line down the middle to break it up into 4 parts. You may have chose to have broken it up differently. Okay, boys and girls, however you broke your shape into 4 parts, just make sure that those parts are equal. Number 7, which unit fraction of the circular shape does each equal part represent? Well, we want to know what each equal part represents, and we're looking for a unit fraction. Well, let's see what my denominator would be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 total parts to make my whole shape, so I know that my denominator is going to be an 8. And if I'm talking about a unit fraction, I'm talking about 1 part. So 1 part is 1/8. So the correct answer would be D. Number 8, select all of the shapes that are divided into equal parts. Now remember, boys and girls, this is a question that we struggle with. When it's multi-select, a lot of children select just 1 choice or maybe 2. They're looking for all, so you don't know how many correct answers there are, so we do have to look through all of them. So let's look at A. Do you think that A is divided into equal parts? I agree. A is divided into equal parts. It's divided into thirds. And each of those parts would represent 1/3. Let's look at B. I don't think B is divided into equal parts because this part right here is a lot smaller than this part right here. I also don't think that C is divided into equal parts because this part is a lot bigger than this part. I do think that D is divided into equal parts. I think that there are 4 equal parts to make that rectangle. And if I'm talking about what each part represents, it would be 1/4. So it's 1/4 of the area for each equal part. And then I also think that E is broken up into equal parts. So this shape is broken up into 6ths. And the unit fraction for each of those equal parts would be 1/6. So boys and girls, how did you do? It seems like you're ready to go to your Nearpod activity. Okay, boys and girls, so I have your Nearpod code. For the English code, it is XQSDU, and please make sure you complete all of the activities. One of them is a collaborate, where you share something that you've done this week that has made you smile, and the other one's a poll, and that comes right to me, and you just express how you've been feeling this week. Su código para Nearpod es YLSUA. Por favor, completa todas las actividades. Una de las actividades te pide que escribas Una cosa que has hecho esta semana que te ha hecho sonreír. Y otra actividad te pregunta cómo te has estado sintiendo. Seu código para Nearpod é KEZVC. E por favor, eu peço que vocês completem as atividades todas. Uma das atividades pede que você escreva uma coisa que você fez esta semana que vos fez sorrir. E outra atividade pergunta como você está sentindo. E essa é só para mim. Okay, so boys and girls, I look forward to seeing your Nearpod activities and all of the wonderful things you've been doing this week. Please remember, you can call me, you can email me, you can text message me, and I really look forward to hearing from you. If you would like to be part of a Zoom video with Mr. Huber and I on Friday, please shoot me an email or a text message and let me know, and then I'll send you the code.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Okay, good night, boys and girls.